Is there anything more heinous than what this poker player did?
The Rob Mercer scam situation, the cancer scam.
Lying in poker is one thing, but lying about a terminal illness so you can raise money for your main event buy-in is something completely different. So let's dive into the twisted tale of Rob Mercer and his disgusting World Series of Poker lie.
A month later, I was basically diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and it's been a rough road, man.
But before we get into the dirt, thank you for watching Poker Boom. It's officially World Series of Poker time, so we'll be releasing WSOP videos every single Monday at 10 a.m. until the end of the main event. Let us know if there's a particular story you'd like for us to cover. All right, here we go.
Pretending to have cancer to get sympathy and money. Those are the accusations against an amateur poker player from Vallejo. It's left the poker community angry and hurt.
Let's be clear. The world of professional poker is no stranger to stories of high stakes, dramatic bluffs, and moments of intense pressure. However, the saga of Rob Mercer introduced an element of deception that transcended the poker table and shocked the community in a completely unprecedented manner. Rob Mercer was not a household name in the poker community, not by a long shot. His rise to infamy began when he claimed to be suffering from terminal colon cancer. Mercer's story first gained traction on social media platforms, where he shared emotionally charged posts detailing his alleged battle with cancer. He portrayed himself as a passionate poker player whose wish was to compete in the WSOP, a dream he could only realize with the financial help of the community. The poker community, known for its camaraderie and support of fellow players, quickly rallied behind Mercer.
This show here is to raise awareness for a couple people we have in our poker community that are fighting for their life, that have some challenges physically.
His narrative struck a chord with many, leading to an outpouring of support. Fundraising efforts were organized to help make Mercer's dream come true. He received donations valued between $30,000 and $50,000, including a suite at the Bellagio during the World Series of Poker. The sum even included $2,500 from Cody Daniels, a chronically ill poker player from Arizona.
My small intestine ended up rupturing.
Who also participated in the main event through private donations. This whole story began to unravel when inconsistencies in his narrative surfaced. Initially raised by poker influencer Doug Parscale Jr., the issue dominated discussion in the poker world. Skepticism grew as certain details of his story just didn't add up. Some individuals who had personal experience with cancer patients noted discrepancies in Mercer's accounts of his treatments and his symptoms. And despite claiming to be gravely ill, Mercer's social media posts and public appearances showed a person who did not exhibit the typical signs of someone who was battling a terminal illness.
For the first six weeks, I probably laid in bed every night and cried myself to sleep. It was really depressing for me. I went into a deep, dark depression.
Journalists and community members started to dig deeper into Mercer's background. Questions were raised about his medical records and the authenticity of his diagnosis. The breakthrough came when investigative efforts revealed that there was no verifiable evidence to support Mercer's claim of having cancer whatsoever. As the evidence mounted, Mercer's lie was exposed. He had fabricated the entire story to elicit sympathy and financial support from the poker community. The revelation sent shockwaves through the poker world, leaving many who had supported him feeling betrayed and outraged. Cody Daniels, who was initially a supporter, grew suspicious after a brief meeting with Mercer and his mother, feeling Mercer was vague in his responses. After all of the scrutiny, Mercer would go on to deactivate his social media accounts and go into hiding. He faced widespread condemnation from both the poker community and the general public. Many who had donated to his cause demanded refunds and sought ways to reclaim their money. The betrayal felt by the community was palpable, as Mercer had exploited the goodwill and the generosity of people who genuinely wanted to help someone in need. GoFundMe, where Mercer put out his initial campaign, eventually notified Mercer's donors of refunds. A spokesperson for GoFundMe stated, "We have zero tolerance for misuse of our platform and take swift action against those who exploit our community's generosity. This fundraiser was removed for violating our terms. All donors have been refunded, and Rob Mercer is banned from future fundraising. We also cooperate with law enforcement investigations of those accused of wrongdoing." Now, from a legal standpoint, Mercer's actions potentially constituted fraud. Soliciting funds under false pretenses can have serious legal ramifications.
He was acting a little bit erratic. His mood wasn't really that of somebody who was dying of cancer. He was, gambling hard and claiming that he's porn star, like just all kinds of wild stuff.
And there were calls for Mercer to be prosecuted. However, beyond the legal implications, the damage to his reputation was irreparable. He became a pariah in the poker community, with his name synonymous with deceit, and not in the good, bluffing kind of way. The WSOP also faced scrutiny for not thoroughly vetting Mercer's story before allowing him to participate. While the organization expressed sympathy for the victims and condemned Mercer's actions, the incident highlighted the need for better mechanisms to verify such claims in the future. Late last year, Mercer did come out and confess in an interview with the Las Vegas Review-Journal that he did not have terminal stage 4 colon cancer when he initiated his GoFundMe campaign to fund his participation in the main event. I lied about having colon cancer. I don't have colon cancer. I used that as an excuse for my situation, Mercer admitted. What I did was wrong. I should not have lied about my condition. It was a spur-of-the-moment response when someone asked me what type of cancer I had. I'm sorry for not being honest. If I had been truthful from the start, things might have turned out differently. He then went on to continue, I lied. I should have been honest about my situation. I didn't want to get exposed because it looks bad. It does look bad. Now, despite his deceit, Mercer claimed embarrassment over a possible breast cancer diagnosis as his reason for lying about having terminal colon cancer.
The thing I don't get is how is like asshole cancer less embarrassing than boob cancer? Like,
Right.
For his part, Mercer has accepted his banishment from the poker community and has stopped playing altogether due to his deteriorating health, spending most of his time in bed, as he says. His deception has left a lasting impact, making people more skeptical about future donations. At the end of the day, I lied because I was scared to tell the truth, Mercer concluded, and I guess I'll have to pay for that.
Because, like, yeah, he scammed all of us, but dude, you're scamming the guy that you know was actually dying, and he took $3,000 from him. Sorry, $2,500. He gave him a $500 discount.
The Rob Mercer scandal had broader implications for the poker community as well, particularly concerning trust and integrity. You see, poker is a game that inherently involves bluffing and deception at the table, but Mercer's action blurred the line between in-game strategy and moral conduct. His deceit exploited the empathy and kindness of a community that prides itself on supporting its members.
This is a brutal one. This guy used a fake illness to further himself and try and use that sympathy to gain money on the internet.
And at the end of the day, while the poker community is built on principles of competition and strategic deception, Mercer's actions went far beyond acceptable behavior, betraying the trust of those who supported him. His story reminds us that even in a world where bluffing is celebrated, being honest and living with integrity in the real world still reigns supreme.
But everything you do in your past will eventually come back on you.
And that's it for this one. What are some other major scandals from the World Series of Poker that you'd like to see us cover? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.